Listening to Echo of Family, story about family, truth, and a moment that changed everything. Now, let's begin.
I stepped into the private room and knew it wasn't brunch. Lights too bright, table too clean. A stack of papers waited beside a pen. My mom, Laura, smiled. A man in a suit stared over his laptop. I'm Sarah, 28. Tech taught me what traps look like. This is about what's fair after your dad, Mom said. The stranger called himself her lawyer. He slid an agreement to redistribute my inheritance. I counted faces around the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I texted Elena, my dad's attorney. Now, before we go on, where are you listening from? A quiet kitchen, a parked car, or your work break? Echoes of life is here with you. I wasn't always the woman counting people in a private room. I was a kid in a quiet San Diego suburb. Back then, family meant Costco runs and game nights. It meant my dad's terrible jokes about JavaScript. My dad, Richard, was a software engineer. He drove the same old Honda because it still worked. He packed leftovers and paid his card off monthly. He bragged about a clean credit score. My mom, Laura, hated that kind of pride. She wanted gated communities and Instagram vacations. She wanted the life that looked expensive. When I was 15, the gap finally split. They sat me at the kitchen table like a meeting. Dad had printed bank statements in a neat stack. Mom had a tablet open to vacation homes. She said she was tired of getting by. He said he was tired of pretending. After the divorce, I lived mostly with Dad. A modest condo near Carlsbad, nothing flashy. If I opened my window at night, I heard the ocean. On Fridays, he let me pick DoorDash tacos. We ate straight from the containers on the couch. He taught me budgeting apps and 401ks. He explained why credit mattered more than a handbag. Mom moved to Orange County and reinvented herself fast. She married Victor, a real estate agent with a smile. Suddenly her Facebook looked like a holiday catalog. Matching outfits, wine tastings, perfect backyard photos. I was technically her daughter, but not in the pictures. She didn't call about my exams or my plans. She called to brag about Mia and Ethan. And when my name came up, it was about money. At night, Dad sat on my bed and said, "You don't owe anyone your future. You build something real." I didn't know he was building my protection too. Years later, my dad died the way I never imagined. A rainy Tuesday night on the I-5. A drowsy driver drifted across lanes. Highway patrol called me after it was done. My world went quiet in one hard click. The funeral was small, like he would have wanted. A few coworkers, a couple neighbors. Me, trying to breathe. My mom arrived dressed in black like a movie widow. Victor stood beside her, hand on her back. Mia and Ethan hovered behind them like props. Mom cried loud enough for strangers to notice. I stood near my dad's urn and felt nothing but cold. After the service, a woman approached me outside. Navy blazer, practical heels, calm eyes. "I'm Elena," she said. "Your dad's attorney." We sat at a metal picnic table by the church. The air smelled like coffee and funeral lilies. Elena told me my dad updated everything after the divorce. More than once. He wanted the paperwork to be clean. He also wanted me protected from interference. She didn't say my mom's name. She didn't have to. The will was clear. His separate property went to me. The Carlsbad condo, his IRA and 401k rollovers, index funds and a few tech stocks. Not flashy money, careful money, built one responsible choice at a time. Elena explained probate in plain language. Court validates the will, transfers assets the right way, stops random family agreements from rewriting it. Then she looked straight at me. "Your father wanted you in control," she said. My phone buzzed while she was talking. A text from Mom. Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "I'm sorry." Just, "We need to talk about the estate." Then, "Think about the whole family." I answered carefully at first. I said probate was underway. I mentioned Dad had an attorney. She ignored that part and asked for numbers. Rough estimates, balances, accounts. When I didn't respond fast, guilt showed up. "I raised you. Teenagers are expensive. Mia and Ethan need college help. You have to do the right thing. Then her voice changed in the voicemails. Lawyers are expensive, Sarah. This can drag on for years. You don't want it to get ugly. She even said my credit could be affected. Like my grief had a score attached to it. I forwarded everything to Elena. She told me not to share balances, not to sign anything, not to meet alone. So I did what my dad trained me to do. I started documenting dates, times, screenshots, every family message that felt like a demand. That's when Mom sent the invite that said brunch. If this were your family, what would you do? Comment 1 to meet them alone to keep peace. And comment 2 to bring a lawyer and document everything. Mom chose a restaurant in Irvine that felt expensive on purpose. Soft music, heavy glasses, servers who didn't smile. She said it would be a small group. She said we'd clear the air. Elena and I made a plan. I would walk in first and read the room. Elena would wait nearby. I'd text when I needed her. A hostess led me to the back, past couples on dates and quiet business lunches. A frosted glass door said private in neat letters. My heart thudded when it opened. Mom sat at the head of the table in black. Victor sat to her right in a tight blazer. Mia and Ethan were there, eyes down, polite smiles ready. Across from them sat a man in a gray suit. Laptop open. No menu in sight. On the table was a stack of documents, a pen placed perfectly on top. The first page had my name in bold. Words like redistribution and irrevocable jumped out fast. Sarah, you made it, Mom said, too bright. We just want to talk about what's fair. The man stood and introduced himself as Daniel. Attorney, he said, here to help the family. The word family landed like a trick. Mom leaned forward with practiced sympathy. Your father's will didn't reflect the reality, she said. College is expensive. She gestured toward Mia and Ethan like receipts. We're just trying to make sure everyone is provided for. Daniel slid the agreement toward me. Family settlement agreement, the header read. He explained a shared trust for everyone's benefit. Then he said the number like it was polite. 65%. I kept my face still. Inside, heat climbed up my throat. My dad worked overtime and lived simply for a reason. This was the reason. I asked one question. If I don't sign, what happens? The room cooled. Victor shifted. Mia stared at her plate. Ethan kept looking at his phone. Daniel folded his hands. This could become complicated, he said. Delays, fees, public filings. He mentioned my credit again. Like fear was a negotiation tool. Mom's voice tightened. We're giving you a chance to show you care. You're not the only one who lost something. I looked around the table slowly. Then I counted out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mom frowned. Sarah, stop. I smiled anyway. You're right, I said. This isn't a joke. I pulled out my phone and typed one line. Then I texted Elena, my dad's attorney. Now. A sharp knock hit the door. The hostess opened it and Elena stepped in. Navy blazer, folder in hand, calm smile. Hi, Laura, Elena said. I hear you want to discuss Sarah's inheritance. And that's when my mom realized this meeting wasn't hers anymore. After that meeting, Mom stopped acting hurt. She started acting angry. For 3 days, my phone was quiet. No texts, no voicemails, no family speeches. I almost believed Elena scared her off. Then the messages came back, colder. You've changed, Mom wrote. Your father would be ashamed. If you keep this up, paperwork gets complicated. Elena called me that night. If she can't move you emotionally, she said, she'll try to move you financially. So I locked everything down. New passwords, 2-factor on every account, security questions with answers no one could guess. I froze my credit with all 3 bureaus. It felt like boarding up windows in daylight. 2 days later, an email hit my inbox. Same logo as my bank, same color scheme, same subject line format. Important action required. My thumb hovered over the link. Something felt off. I held my cursor over it instead. The web address was close, but not right. 1 extra letter. 1 missing dash. My skin went cold. I called the bank using my card. They told me they sent nothing. They also saw failed logins from a new device. I documented everything: screenshots, call notes, ticket numbers. Then I filed an IC3 complaint online. The form felt unreal with my mother's name nearby. Elena told me to add cameras, so I ordered a doorbell camera and 2 small ones. I installed them after work, barefoot in my hallway. I aimed one at my mailbox cluster. I aimed one at my front door. For a week, it was just normal life. Amazon boxes, trash day, neighbor's dog. Then, on a Tuesday, my phone buzzed mid-meeting. Motion detected. I opened the live feed under my desk. Victor's SUV sat at the curb, engine idling. His laptop glow lit his face through the windshield. A second alert popped from the mailbox camera. Mom stood there, phone to her ear, scanning the lot. My heart slammed against my ribs. Then my banking app sent a push notification. Unrecognized device attempting to access your account. The timestamp matched the video. Down to the minute. I hit screen record and didn't breathe. Mom looked toward Victor's car. Victor's hands moved on the keyboard. Then Mom walked away like nothing happened. I pulled the bank's security log that night. IP address, time, failed attempts. Everything lined up. Elena didn't text back. She called, voice sharp. "This is attempted identity theft," she said. The next morning, we filed a police report. I updated the IC3 case with video and logs. For the first time since Dad died, I wasn't guessing. I knew what Mom might do. I had proof she already did. Now this wasn't family drama. It was a case file. Court didn't happen overnight. A week later, a detective called. He said the logs matched the footage. He said it was enough to move forward. The hearing was downtown San Diego. It didn't feel like TV, just polished wood and tired air. Elena sat beside me, folder open. My mom sat across the aisle. Victor sat rigid, jaw tight. The prosecutor didn't raise his voice. He just stacked facts. The phishing email. The failed login records. The ring clips with matching timestamps. The screen showed my mailbox camera. Mom scanning the lot, phone to her ear. Then Victor in his SUV, laptop open. Then my bank alert, right on the minute. Their lawyer called it a misunderstanding. Elena stood and kept it simple. Sole accounts. Probate complete. No consent. When I testified, I stayed steady. Clear. Specific. Documented. The judge didn't buy excuses. He called it attempted fraud, not a family disagreement. They got fines and probation. They reimbursed my legal costs. The judge granted a 5-year no-contact order. No calls, no texts, no messages through relatives. Victor's license was referred to his board. I saw his shoulders drop. Outside the courthouse, Mom wouldn't meet my eyes. I didn't chase her. I just kept walking. Back home, silence felt different. My phone stayed quiet. My accounts stayed locked. My doorbell showed packages, not threats. I started therapy and kept my routines. Work, coffee, walks by the water. I stopped explaining boundaries to people who benefit. Some people said, "But she's your mother." I learned a hard truth. Shared DNA isn't a permission slip. My dad didn't just leave me money. He left me clarity. If this story resonated with you, please like and share. Subscribe to Echoes of Life for more quiet strength. More stories are coming next.